It's Wednesday, December 2nd, 2015. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geek Nights. Tonight, the manga Inuyashiki by Hiroya Oku.
Let's do this. What should I do for All right, I'll talk about something stupid. All right, so this morning I woke up and, I checked my internet like I usually do.
Good start.
Yeah, including, the regular parts of the internet, the webcomic.
Yeah,
right?
the Civ 5 turn.
The Civ 5 turn.
Yep.
Actually, I didn't have a Civ 5 turn this morning. It wasn't my turn.
Yeah, the way the timing is...
Or was it? I don't remember. Anyway.
I got the second half of the game right because there's a bunch of people like with the time zones, so the people at the end of the day are very likely to take their turn early and keep the game going, but in the morning, it's a race condition between Yumi, Skojo, and Alex for who takes their turn.
So then
anyway.
I checked the, in the course of internet, I checked the K-pop internet as usual, and it was like freaking out. And I was like, why is they freaking out? And apparently just time zones and not paying too much attention to that. Apparently the Korean equivalent of Grammy Awards was this morning or last night or this morning. It was this morning here on my way to work, but it was this night for them. I don't know the times.
All right, so that explains that.
So apparently it was streaming live on Twitch. So while I'm putting my clothes on, I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on there. And it was way different. Like, obviously award shows are dumb. Like, even if it's an award show or something I care about, I usually, this video game awards are going to happen right now. It's the end of the year. There's a lot of award shows in general now. Even though for some reason Grammys and Oscars and things like the beginning-ish of the year and not I don't know. But anyway, so I'm watching it, and there's so many things different about it from what we usually have here. So first of all, in the U.S., the Grammy Awards are like an industry thing. It's like the music industry. There is no music industry single group there in Asia, right? All the awards are from different companies. Like imagine if instead of, say, I guess for television, we have Golden Globe kind of, or no, we have Emmy Awards. Imagine if instead of Emmy Awards, it was the NBC TV Awards, the ABC TV Awards, the CBS TV Awards, the Fox TV Awards.
I feel like we had things like that at different points as well.
But there does not imagine if there didn't exist an Emmys for all of TV. So, right? So it's really it's even less of an award show. It's just congratulations on our own thing, right? So this awards that happened last night, was the Mama Awards,
all right,
which is the Mnet Asian Music Awards, which is Mnet is a TV network. It's also a record company, which is CJE&M.
All right.
So imagine if MTV was also producing music and had an award show, but gave awards to all of the music. And it says it's the Asian Music Awards, but it's 90% Korean, but also the Pet Shop Boys showed up for some reason. And
to win an award, or were they just performing?
I guess they always get one big Western group to come to give some sort of
for a second I thought you were going to be they always get the Pet Shop Boys.
No, in Achievement Inspiration Award or something.
It'd be funnier if it was always the Pet Shop Boys.
That would be really weird, yeah. And so the weird things about it, other than that, is that number one, at least in the U.S., the Grammys, the Oscars, which are rigged in terms of the awards are given out by a bunch of old white dudes.
Yep.
It didn't seem like the awards are given based on merit at all. They let people vote, but fan voting is a small percentage of the awards. They're really just given out what seems to be by rigging. Some, all the different K-pop artists are in different companies, and the same company kept winning, and the company was also giving the most performances.
Huh.
It's just clearly they just buy these awards from so it's even less meaningful to win the award, right? But what was interesting, the good parts, is that number one, their performances were definitely not lip synced in any way.
Oh man, that already means it's a better award show. And I don't care about awards.
The reason they weren't lip synced in any way is because you go to the Grammys. Who's in the audience of the Grammys?
People who don't want to be there.
But it's just all famous people from front to back. There's a little area where the famous people and people receiving awards sit.
Oh, it's normal people?
It's just a fucking concert you can buy tickets to.
So it's basically a best of concert.
It's just a best of concert, but also insane shit happens.
Maybe we should go to it someday.
You want to go to Asia to this thing with 90% of the audience is screaming teenage girls?
You know what? It would be a spectacle.
It was
to
in
see.
Hong Kong actually this year. I think last year it was in a different country.
Oh, I have excuses to go there. I could make that happen.
Chow Yun Fat gave the final award, which is really interesting. Unrelated to music. They just get the most famous person they can get to come to Hong Kong.
They're like, tonight the award will be presented by Mike Tyson and Carrot Top. Like,
sure. But, usually they're always promoting on TV, like, performances by so-and-so, so-and-so, right? There are performances by people who are unannounced to shock the hell out of everybody, right? So imagine if you go and you're like, oh, man, I'm really excited to see, I don't know, one person because they're on the list.
You couldn't name one band.
I'm really excited to see Rammstein.
All right.
And suddenly Machine Supremacy just on the stage. You didn't even fucking know that was going to happen. It's just there they are. And you're like, oh my God. What the fuck?
I feel like we should go.
There's a lot easier things that we can go to.
You know what? That's probably not any less easy than going to like F1 or something. Like I feel like
if you want to go to a K-pop thing, I think I heard the Big Bang is coming around the country. So we could probably see them in New Jersey where there'll be 90% screaming teenage Korean girls.
Yeah, I mean, we went to the
tickets will probably be like hundreds of dollars.
We did go to the New York Tokyo Musical Festival. And
it'll be more fun than that for sure.
Yeah.
But it's going to be expensive to sit anywhere good. You could just watch it on YouTube and screaming teenage girls. It's like, would you go to a Bieber concert?
Well, I don't like Bieber.
I think that is one thing, is that somehow, I don't know if anyone listening knows or cares who Big Bang is, but it's like this boy band, but they're talented and they write their own music, and for some reason, dudes also like them.
Well, I like them.
So
like
you can go. All right. It's really weird. Just imagine if you liked Bieber and like respected him. We're like, dude, he's the awesomest. Only there were 5 of him, and they were all different.
But the same wall of people is at the concert.
Sure.
So, in, I guess, Anime Wednesday topic news.
This is Asian news.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I got my news. You're on point.
It wasn't even news. I got news coming.
Yeah. So, the Anime News Network is doing its annual mega poll of the best anime
Every
of the year.
website is doing its annual mega poll.
The Anime News Network one is always interesting because you forget when anime came out. Like,
wasn't Yo pedaled this year?
I don't remember. Let me scroll down here and see, because they have their rules. They have a pretty good set of rules about what counts as this year and not as this year.
All right.
So One Punch Man counts.
Yes.
So
winner, first place. One Punch Man.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Is Yo pedal count as this year?
Yurikuma's on there. I don't see it, actually.
Does it say Yoamushi pedal, perhaps?
Under the Y's, there's just Yamada-kun, Yatterman Knight, Young Blackjack.
All right, I guess it doesn't count.
Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yurikuma Arashi, Yuri
What about
Sanhai.
the movie I didn't see, but I'm pretty sure is in second place?
Ninja Slayer. Wait, is this not in alphabetical order? Oh.
Just use your Control F.
Anyway.
But, I mean, I haven't seen it yet because it's hard to see, but I'm pretty sure The Boy and the Beast is going to be second place after One Punch Man.
A good thing to do every year is just scroll down this list and see how many of those shows you watched, and you might forget that some shows
It's a better
out.
idea. Just wait for the poll to fucking finish, see what won, and then watch those top 5.
A lot of people, you vote for 5 in the poll.
Yeah.
And it's Anime News Network people who are voting, meaning that 1 or 2 good shows and 3 to 4 terrible shows are going to be at the top.
I'm sure you can tell by looking at the names which ones are which.
If
the name contains the word punch, probably a good choice. If the name contains lavu lavu, probably a bad choice.
Yeah, but at the same time, Yurikuma, I voted for that one. That's one of the best shows of 2015.
It's not Yurikuma lavu lavu.
Yeah, Yurikuma, not actually my sister Oishi.
Yeah.
So these are always fun, and you should scroll down because there were some good shows this year, like Ushio and Tora. I was digging that. I got to finish that.
And One Punch Man.
Yeah, One Punch Man.
He who punches only one time.
Yurikuma.
The man who punched but once.
That Lupin.
Single puncher.
So yeah, you got news?
There's the sad news. I'm pretty sure everyone heard last week, but or when it happened. Oh, it wasn't even last week. It was like a few days ago. So Shigeru Mizuki, if you don't know who that is, is the guy who made Kitaro and also Gegege no Kitaro and a bunch of other mangas. But all his other mangas weren't about yokai and stuff. They were like, there's one about Hitler that's coming out in English real soon if it's not out already.
I didn't know that was coming out in English.
Yeah, it's coming out. And then there's the one I just got, I think the final volume of, which is Showa History of Japan, which is like the entire history of Japan. Well, the Showa era at least, right? And so he's like, after Tezuka, he's like, I don't know if he's the best manga creator, but he's like...
It's hard for me to be super objective there because I really like Kitaro.
Oh, yeah. It's super good.
But that's partly because I also really like yokai, and Kitaro was the right balance of yokai being both terrifying and silly at the same time, which is the best way to consume yokai.
It's like, in some way, like, Tezuka was like the Disney and also the Stan Lee and also the Will Eisner of... Japan all at once, even though Miyazaki's sort of also the Disney in a way.
Yeah.
But Mizuki, it's like, there's no one to compare him to. It's like, was he the Jim Henson? Not really. He didn't raise all the childrens with his puppet show, right? But I guess he has the sort that, it doesn't have an equivalency there, but he has the same sort of level of status, right? In terms of importance to the, the culture, right?
I guess what you should do is if you've never heard of this, like any of what we're talking about, go check out Kitaro.
Right.
Just to get the ball rolling, and then the ball can keep rolling.
Yeah. So anyway, he died like a few days ago. But dude, the man was 93, and he lost his arm in the war. The war. Right? So,
Civil.
No, not that one. but it's like this ultimate badass dude who made all these amazing, important mangas, like incredibly important dude. So, I mean, it's not like a surprise he was 93, but yeah.
So, in lighter news, to make you feel a little bit better, the Pikachu Build-A-Bear is releasing this month. You can build a Pikachu.
Well, I guess we know some people who are doing that.
He can come with either a Pokeball costume or a Charizard costume.
There you go.
I feel like we should go there.
You do that. How much? It's a lot of money. It's the reason I'm not going to go there.
And let's see. Get the Pikachu alone is $28. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you want to remix that shit, right? Because
you gotta get like Star Wars.
They have Star
hats.
Wars stuff and they have pony stuff at Build-A-Bear. How do I know this? Because I walked past one and I looked in the window on my way to play Netrunner. And so I'm pretty sure they let you mix that shit up. You can put like Star Wars. You can put a Darth Vader head on a Pikachu body with the Charmander costume and a My Little Pony feet or accessory or something.
Hooves.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. I'm sure they would let you do that if you paid the money, but I'm sure it also costs a hoof and a hoof.
This is yet another example of Build-A-Bear.
A hoof and a paw?
Of Build-A-Bear causing that odd dichotomy where a bunch of 20 to 30-year-old people are going to be making little stuffed animals right next to a bunch of like 4-year-olds with their parents.
That odd dichotomy when Rim wants to go to the K-pop concert in Jersey right next to the teenage girls.
Yeah. I'm glad to see this cultural mixing. I'm glad to see generations enjoying their pop culture together, even though you still should not go to the local elementary school and see if anyone wants to play Pokemon with you. But anyway, things of the day. Many of the things of the day we've had over the years were created by one man, Neil Cicerega. He is probably the avatar of the expression of the internet in the modern world. He's the master and king of remixes. I'm not even going to list the things he's done because now he has a Patreon. And basically, he's just offering to continue doing what he's been doing.
How much money is he getting in his Patreon?
He's already up to $1,000 a month.
How much is our Patreon?
Like 200.
Are you saying that we're only 5 times less than Neil Cicerega?
Currently, yes. That is where we stand.
Because I figured he was like 50 times more than us, not 5 times more than us.
So, in terms of content created, if you just go by hours, we probably made more.
I mean, just by hours, we're catching up with shit like Bonanza. Okay? So it doesn't really matter the quantity.
But God, this Patreon is extra special because one, when you make a Patreon, because as you know, GeekNights has a Patreon, you have to say like what you're creating. So we're creating podcasts and lectures and these other things. Neil Cicerega is creating Star. If you give him $1, you are really nice. If you give him $2, you get his entire discography from 1999 to 2014. And if he raises his stretch goal, if he starts getting $50,000 a month,
That'll happen.
which is more. It is more than what we are asking for the we'll quit our jobs and do GeekNights
Oh wait, it's
full-time.
$2 a month for the discography?
$2 a month.
It's too much.
Well, you could donate for a month, get the link, and then stop donating if you were
I mean,
a
he gives it
shithead.
all away for free on YouTube, and I pay for YouTube Red, so I'm already paying.
Yeah, but you
every
can-
time I listen to his shit, he'll get a piece.
But you get one big old download, which might be like FLAC files or something. I don't know. I'm
then
going to
I don't
find
get
out.
but the video part is on YouTube too.
Yeah, no, this is just his discography,
Right.
which I assume is just the audio.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to have that just as a file set of like FLACs or 96 kbps
So you do
nonsense.
that and give me the files.
But here, I'm going to read his thing because I'm kind of a fanboy of this dude. Hi, I'm Neil Cicerega. I'm a web artist and web comedian. I've been webbing around since 2001, the year.
All of those things are accurate.
I make everything from original videos to mash. So mash and ups are links, but the H in between them is not. I'm going to click on that later. Comedy videos, animated GIFs, harmless hoaxes, etc. And that's it. He just has this animated GIF showing a bunch of things he's done.
He is a man who knows who he is.
Ranging from Hyakugo Juichi to Puppet Pals to
Mouth sounds.
8 Legs.
Okay.
You remember that one?
Yeah. I know
7
everything he's. I know
vaginas.
every work he's done. I'm surprised he did not include, however, the count.
So, my thing of the day is that man is asking for money to continue doing what he has done.
He's going to continue no matter what.
Yeah, I know, but so are we. So, if we are hypocritical for doing a Patreon, he is equally hypocritical. You should back his Patreon first, and if you have money left over, you can also back us.
Anyway, so what do you think of when you think of Alan Moore?
Watchmen.
Okay.
Also, picture of Alan Moore. Like a picture of his face. Those are the two things I think of. Particularly his wedding.
Okay, so apparently, I did not know this until just recently, and it was a saved up thing of the day.
Ooh.
In 1981
Whoa.
or 82, Alan Moore was making comics because he's way older than us. He made some comics. He, in fact, made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comics. And these comics were published in the magazine, obviously in the UK,
All right.
because that's where he was at the time. They weren't published in the US for another 15 years, and I guess they were still unknown, but now they're going to be more widely known. He published these comics in the magazine known as Marvel Star Wars UK.
Whoa, wait, what?
Here are 5 Star Wars comics by Alan Moore.
Whoa. So are they trippy? Are they gritty? Are they weird?
They are Star Wars comics by Alan Moore.
I'm going to check that out after the show.
The end.
In the moment, we're going to be at PAX South. Officially, our schedule is done. I'm pulling it up, but it's going to be easy for once because we're doing 2 lectures at PAX South. They are brand new lectures. We're not recycling anything.
It's all you.
And, well, yeah, one of them doesn't need slides really, so that's a bonus. They're both at 1 p.m. in the Bobcat Theater, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. So on Saturday, July 30th at 1 p.m. in the Bobcat Theater, we are doing Atari game design. And on Sunday...
What do you know about Atari game design?
I know a lot about... no, I'm not talking about coding Atari games.
I mean, you're going to still have to study the technical limitations of the Atari because that's how greatly influenced the design of those games.
And I have studied a bunch of that. And the thing is, the idea is that if you want to design a board game, you want to study game design, you should probably start with like Atari video game fundamentals because you can look at the screen and literally count pixels. There's not that much complexity that can be hidden from you in terms of game design, player interaction. So we're going to go through that in great detail. And then Sunday, January 31st at 1 p.m. in the Bobcat Theater, we're going to be doing designing game rules, like why Hellas is an unplayable game and why most Kickstarter games have terrible rules. We're going to be at MagFest. Between Scott and I, we're going to be on like 7 panels. But
Too many fans.
that's all still in the works, scheduling and whatnot. I think our schedule's actually done in terms of what we're going to be on. We're just waiting for, when, and then I guess when is all we really care about. We're going to be at PAX East, probably doing a bunch of stuff and enforcing. PAX South needs enforcers, so you should sign up for that. And back us on Patreon if you've already backed Neil Cicerega. So we're finally reviewing manga and comics again, as you might have noticed, partly because Scott's just been giving me things to say to read them.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a pretty good manga, and I feel like you guys should read it. Well, comic. Didn't I say I was going to say comic instead of manga?
You couldn't even stick to your own thing for like 5 minutes.
Can't even. So, Inuyashiki is a slice of life about an old man with a terrible family who's dying of stomach cancer.
All right, so this manga, I found out about this because I was looking down the list of things to buy, and I said, oh, there's a manga there, and that is not just some typical shonen or shoujo garbage manga. It clearly is different just based on the cover alone. Oh, and the person who made it is the guy who made Gantz, which is something that I think I would probably like, and I know is really violent, but I just haven't read it because I haven't, not because I don't want to. I'm pretty sure I'll like it if I did read it.
Yep.
But this is volume 1, so let me pick this up. And yeah, it's about this old guy whose family was really the worst family. Like, he's a salaryman in Japan doing a shitty job. He hates doing it.
He's finally saved up enough money to be fully retired, to have a house, to live with his family in peace for his old years. He looks way older than he is just because of a life of stress and misery.
And his family is the worst family. His wife clearly doesn't love him or anything. I don't even know how they got married. I'd love to see the past. There haven't been any flashbacks like that showing you anything, from how this started, right?
I mean, they're not the worst in, they're not Nazis or anything. They're just
they don't appreciate or love or care about their father.
Even though everything they have is because of him.
And the kids are way spoiled. There's when they show up at the new house, there's a guy coming out of a Ferrari in this other house. And they're like, that's not our house, the nice one. Well, we had this shitty house in the back, and it's like, dude, you're living in a shithole 2 seconds ago.
Plus, the shitty house in the back, I would kill to live in a house like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that dude, I'd be friends with the guy with the Ferrari living out front. Maybe he'd give me a ride to school, whatever. But no, these kids are so shitty.
And it's just 20 pages. The first 20-ish pages are just continual gut punches to you watching this guy suffer through all of this.
And it's one of those ones where I almost couldn't take it the same way. There's been a few other things like this where I'm like, dude, just kill your family. or dude, just punch them. It's just do something. It's and the person is, I really can't stand it a lot easily when there's someone who's just being victimized and just does in a story and just doesn't do anything. At least run away or something, right?
But
or
to where?
Just stop giving them money. Just be you got all the money. Just you own the house. Sell that fucking house. Let them be homeless and be see ya, asshole.
I mean, it gets to the point. This all happens right in the beginning where you're really feeling depressed. And this is not going well. And then he finds out he has stomach cancer and a few months to live. And he can't
It's well, now you wasted your whole life, too. You can't even run away.
And he can't even tell his family because they literally will not listen to him talk long enough for him to tell them that he's dying.
They also won't give a shit.
And then the line that made this manga go from depressing to amazing, the words, I'm going to quote the words where I went, holy shit, what? But we only have weapon-grade units in stock. I mean, we've got to spoil it to kind of sell you on reading this thing, but we're not gonna. It's a comic. Read it, just read it. But basically, a UFO or something crashes into a park.
It's totally random, just out of nowhere. It's not completely out of nowhere, but it's mostly out of nowhere. The guy's in the park with the dog. The only thing that he loves that loves him.
That his family hates, by the way, and didn't want him to get.
But he got it and taking care of his dog.
Dog's great.
Dog is good. It's a good dog. Anyway, he's hanging in the park with the dog, being all sad, but hanging with the dog, so that's nice.
And then this
aliens just show up.
And the
now,
aliens
already
crash.
You're probably thinking, what? This sounds like the stupidest thing ever. Oh, my God.
So I'm just going to read the dialogue.
And I was hesitant while reading it. I'm like, really? This is what? I thought I was going to get some serious drama, and I ended up getting some alien garbage. Really?
There is one page of just dialogue of the aliens talking to each other. Any damage? Nothing here. However, we did destroy 2 of this planet's intelligent life forms.
Daddy, 2 intelligent life forms?
Yeah, so there's something hanging out there.
When they first said that, I thought, is the dog intelligent?
Yeah. Can we rebuild them? I'm afraid not. then at least recreate their outer appearances as quickly as you can, convincing enough that they don't realize we tampered with them. But sir, we only have weapon-grade units in stock. Wait, no, they'll destroy the entire planet. That's not our problem. We need to disengage at once, and they just fucking leave.
So this guy wakes up. He doesn't know, he knows, he just thinks he's himself.
Yeah, he comes home, and his family's like, where the fuck were you piece of shit? What?
Yeah, he doesn't realize anything, but he's not himself. He eventually discovers he's now a robot that is not himself, that he died.
Yeah, the doctors are like, whoa.
He's actually just a robot with all the memories of the person who died, and he's basically super powerful and super invincible. And of course, yes, there is another person who also died and was replaced by a robot who's clearly going to be the villain or something.
Yeah, he is Major Kusanagi, except he's a frail old man. And the best part about this comic is that once he realizes what's going on, he isn't really that horrified. He basically just becomes a superhero. He's like, you know what? This is awesome.
I was going to die of stomach cancer anyway. I died of alien.
Yeah. He has this revelation, too. He was like, well, I'm someone different. I don't need to pay for these pieces of shit anymore. My family, like, I don't have to help them. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
free.
that family. Yeah.
But I guess the second moment where this went from, like, just a pretty good thing to really great is the hacking montage that I don't want to spoil. Because there's a lot of reasons why that scene was great. One, it was realistic, like really realistic, which never happens in comics like this. Two, it was actually subtle. Like, instead of having the usual manga BS of, a whole bunch of people explaining, like, well, what's Twitter, blah, 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 and then, like, spoon feeding you what he's doing, it just shows you this montage of what he's doing, like screenshots of Twitter and screenshots of YouTube. And then it cuts to these kids who are all on the phone with their parents. And it doesn't, like...
Well, because you assume the audience for this thing, right, is Japanese kids. They fucking know.
Yeah.
They don't need to be... you explain to them what Twitter is. They're like, what the fuck?
But
Shut up.
There's a lot of nuance in this comic that is not there in a lot of other manga I have read that makes me really appreciate the subtlety that... Like, I appreciate this manga
I really
a lot.
want to see Volume 2 a lot, and it's not out yet, at least not in English. And I'm like, oh my God, give me to Volume 2.
Yep. All the characters we're meeting, other than his family, are pretty great. And... this volume, the first trade, ends on a really good spot, but then there's like a little like next step, like sort of denouement.
Yeah, it's not a cliffhanger, but it's like they're showing you what the story's actually going to be, because it's, obviously only partially about the drama with him and his family, right? They're sort of showing you this is what to expect from the rest of this manga.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, if that's what's to expect, then give me more, please. Yes, sir. I would like some more.
The art is super consistently good.
The art in Gans was always like crazy good.
Yeah.
It sort of has that realisticness of like the backgrounds of Death Note, but the character, because Death Note, he always does like he draws the backgrounds in Death Note like architecturally, like everything is super straight lines with hyper details, and then the characters like normal anime characters. In this, it's like, okay, the backgrounds are just as Death Note-y, but perhaps a little less straight line architectural, but still, plenty of details going on.
But just the way the old man is drawn.
The people are more realistic, and less stereotypically anime-ish.
The faces are really, really good. Really
right.
unique.
They're somewhere in between those, stereotypical anime style and like the Ikigami, real people manga style.
Like
somewhere halfway.
Like, think about the faces in Sanctuary when a character is watching something and reacting to it in a complex and intense manner. It's like that, but with this old man seeing injustice around him, swallowing it because he knows he's powerless to do anything about it, and being really conflicted about it, and all this, like, the guy looks like he's about to explode every single panel, but he's just bottling it all in and hiding it.
He's going to explode now, big time.
He did explode once.
They might destroy the world. They're powerful enough to destroy the world. That's not our problem.
I also like the bum guy.
Oh, the bum guy.
The bum guy's like, I feel like that's going to be a sidekick. That's going to be his Robin.
Sure, why not? Go bum guy, go.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see the bum guy again.
I'll bet we see the bum guy again.
Okay.
I'm confident.
But yeah, I guess if you like this, I'm also going to try to find/read Gans. So I don't see if you like this, you wouldn't like saying
Well, did you notice that
mangas by the other guy.
The kid in the end has a bunch of anime posters and Gantz all over his walls?
Yeah, people always do that.
Yeah.
I mean, in One Punch Man,
Well, you
there's
notice
all kinds of stuff referencing the manga, the other manga that one is working on.
Well, you also notice the rich guy in the house in front is what, a famous manga artist?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the guy.
He's a thousandaire in there.
Yeah. That's interesting that in the manga Inuyashiki you can read Gans. Yeah.
So I guess it's set in a world where Gantz exists, meaning it's probably just set straight up in our world.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I don't know what else I can say because I just want you guys
That's
to read
all. It's
this.
only one volume. What else can happen in it?
Yeah, but without us just like going through and telling you everything that happens, which you should
We'll just
read it.
read it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can, you might even just based on what all we've done is really summarize the plot. But I mean, it makes you feel when you start reading it like frustrated with the shitty family.
But that's
and you want to take out your aggression on them and stand up for this old man. And then the rest of it is, all right, well, the old man's a super powerful robot now. Sorry, family, you're in deep shit.
It's like when Astro Boy remembers, like, oh, I can just punch people.
Boom. Astro Boy versus One Punch Man.
Well, we know who would win.
Obviously.
This has been Geek Nights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geek Nights is not one, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geek Nights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geek Nights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.
The amazing patrons of tonight's Geek Nights are, in order of the amount of money they give us on a monthly basis, even though I got to make sure you give at least a little bit of that money to Neil Cicerega. Nicholas Brandow, Rebecca Dunn, James David White, Christian Kuntz, Jess, Mechanical Mind, Renee from New Zealand, Robert Lee, Ryan Perrin, Drew Oppenlander, Rare Lavelle, Brian Cedrone, Rochelle Montanona, Finn Eric Silverod, Rim Eats Poop, Kinetic Man, William Eisenrose, Aaron Cerise, Chris Midkiff, Chris Knox, Flame Darkfire, Samuel Cordery, Daniel Redman, Chris Haddad, Doug Snyder, Sean Klein, Chris Reimer, and Thomas Hahn. So we did just record, right after we did the show, the November Q&A. So I'm going to wait a few days just because I'm lazy and there's a Rangers game that I want to go watch the rest of because it's pretty good right now. And Emily's not home. She's visiting family and things for the holidays. So pretty much she's going to eat a bowl of croutons and ranch dressing for dinner and watch the Rangers game. And then either play Undertale or Rocket League until I fall asleep. But yeah, that'll go up patrons only as soon as I get a chance. And then soon I will open the submission for questions for the December Q&A. And now I leave you with your moment of literally the opposite of Zen.